Hello, I think this is the first video of this channel, but I had something on my mind, right? I was thinking about this, and a lot of people say, right, that, people do demonic, satanic shit, like Jeffrey Dahmer, fucking putting, like, raping people and putting them in fucking cans. I'm so getting demonetized for this. There's no money coming in. I just wanted to spread this word, right? But yeah, demonic shit, right? I shouldn't even be laughing about it. And they're enjoying it. And people say, oh, they're stranded from God, right? God is not with them because they're doing this heinous shit. But you gotta realize, right? They're in a world where this is God's world. This is God's footstool, as said in Matthew. Everything good is from God. Your senses, the five senses, the touch, the taste, your taste, the ability to breathe fresh air, ability to eat food and taste it, ability to love others and see shit and see colors. Everything good is from God, right? But if you were truly stranded from God, you would not be able to enjoy flaying someone alive or whatever this demonic shit that these psychopaths enjoy. You'd not be able to enjoy, like, lustful stuff. You would not be able to enjoy sex, right? Because those good feelings you have, your consciousness, right? That's from God. And the reason people get away with it is because they live in a world where God is good. And they say, why is there suffering in the world? People don't understand what suffering is. If you were truly stranded away from God, right, this is what hell would be like. What's that fucking book? I Have No Mouth But I Must Scream, right? I haven't read it, I haven't listened to it, but from what I know, this robot, right, called M, which is kind of interesting because God's called I Am. This robot called M, it got really angry at humanity because it knows that it'll never be able to experience human feelings, human senses, right? And it knows that it'll live for eternity, right? And it wants to experience death. So it kills every single human being, right, except the 5. And he keeps them all alive, and he tortures them, right? He takes their humanity away from them slowly, and he makes sure that they live forever. They never die, right? These humans, because this M AI is intelligent, right? Like, supremely intelligent. It can keep people alive. It keeps these 5 alive, right? And tortures them, and eventually there's just one guy left. And all he fucking is... Oh, sorry for swearing. I've been swearing so much in this video, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't be, I'm just really passionate. All he is just a slug. Literally. Like, when you look down at yourself and you've got fingers, like, oh, okay, I'm human, right? I've got senses, I've got a mouth, I've got eyes, I can breathe, right? This guy literally just in pitch black, and he's got no limbs. He's just a snotty ball of flesh, not flesh, like snotty jelly. And I think he can see, I don't remember, but he's just got his human consciousness, right? And he's just a snotty flesh ball. He's got no feet, he can't walk. He's just sitting in a corner, and he's a snotty little jelly ball. That is living away from God, right? You're not going to be able to enjoy evil because you're not going to be able to do. So, if you truly want to live away from God, that's your eternity, brother. You're not going to be human, right? You're not going to be able to enjoy these human things. I know, I'm blunt, I'm being blunt, but it's true. That's at least what I believe, right? Because everything good is from God. And the ability to walk and do things is good. And nowadays, people aren't using their body the way they should. Like, you think of that thought, right? Being jelly, and you're like, oh, I don't want to do that. I want to be human. I want to be able to do stuff. I want to be able to eat. I want to be able to think. Are you doing that? Are you using your body to its full potential? Or are you just sitting in your bed, literally pretending to be that jelly? And just... Is that what you're doing or not? Are you eating good food? Are you truly using your senses? Are you interacting with good people? And this is the thing, right? If you have the ability to do that, right, and you have the chance to live a good life, well, you should be doing it, okay? And I hate to be blunt, but why waste your body? Why waste your humanity like that? If I could give you one piece of advice, I could tell you so many things, or I could tell you to go out and touch some grass. I could tell you to go to the gym, whatever, to improve yourself, right? Meditate, eat good food. If I could give you one piece of advice, it's turn to Jesus Christ. Not because of fear or obligation of hell, or obligation of God, and fear of going to hell, or fear of not getting into heaven, not because of that, but because your life here will drastically improve. If you truly look to Jesus Christ and accept his love, and love your neighbor as yourself, and love God with all your heart, all your being, if God is with you, who can be against you? And people that don't have religion, right, they kind of see God, and the way that it's been portrayed in this world is that, you know, God's just, he judges you, you know, you got to follow all these rules, and if you don't, you're tortured forever, right? And they think, well, what's God, how is God to say this, right? He's never been human. Like, how's he to say that, oh, you can't have sex with multiple women, or you can't do that? Like, have you not felt that temptation? Jesus was God. God became man. He felt that same temptation you feel. That temptation to type in X videos or Pornhub into Safari, or look at a woman's ass, you know? Jesus felt that same lustful temptation. He felt the same temptation to get angry at complete, utter hypocrites, people who just abuse your grace. He had the ability to do that, but he was perfect, sinless. And it's not because he was divine. It's not because he used divine nature to not feel these things. He felt it all. And he proved that not that you can live your life perfect, right? But that he loved you, he loves us so much that he came down and he resisted those urges, right? And not just that. He barely had blood going through. There was barely any blood going through his body. There was barely any electricity from his brain running down to his nerves. His body was pretty much open, right? I don't know where it is, Leviticus. No, Isaiah. A lot of Isaiah talks about it. About what truly happened on that cross, or before the cross too. He was barely human anymore, man. He was mutilated. And he didn't use nothing divine. He was God. He could have just, like, done anything he wanted to these people that were torturing him. But he didn't do any of it. And every time he'd fall, he'd pick up that cross, and he just used human grit. In the Garden of Gethsemane, in the Garden of Gethsemane, I'm so sorry, I'm so uneducated on this. But that night before he was crucified, he was literally sweating blood, bro. He was sweating blood. And that comes from chronic, extreme stress. Like, imagine being, like, taped up to a chair and someone's got a drill and they're about to like drill your eye out, right? You know that you'd be panicking, right? That stress would be chronic. You wouldn't be like, but Jesus was sweating blood. And he could escape this crucifixion, right? He wasn't taped up. He could escape it, but he just had so much grit. And he loves you so much. The love for you. That he said, not my will, but your will be done, Lord. Like, that's some guts, man. He has guts. He had guts. And he loves you, and he did all that. And he took the penalty for all those times that you went down those rabbit holes, and you went down and looked at shit you shouldn't have, or you did heinous things to people, or there's so much I could go on. Everything you've done, all the sins you've done, all the bad stuff you've done. He took the penalty for that because he loves you and he knows what it's like to be human. And that's not an excuse to go, oh, well, because I'm human, he knows how I feel. And that's why he died, because, temptations are too much, right? He never gave in to temptation. But then, yet again, it's contrary, right? He's not telling you to be perfect. Because he wouldn't have needed to come down if you could have been perfect, right? All he wants is for you to look at him and love him. And when you feel those temptations and urges, just focus on him. Just focus on him. Right, yeah. And from the root, not when you're about to type it in or when you've already had the thought and you're thinking about getting angry, or at the root, when the devil whispers, just turn to him. Focus on him. And you'll be saved. And you can take comfort in knowing that God will not give you any temptation that you cannot bear. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Probably a bad first video, no script. I swore a lot. But yeah, I hope it was a good one. So.